Good job today, man. It's one at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Mr. Primetime.
Rest in peace to the streak.
Victory Monday, an unexpected Victory Monday.
And to all the haters, yes, I'm happy. I'm excited. The season's alive, but there will also be certain shit I will not hold back on tonight. So,
but you will admit that you're actually happy the Jets won?
Oh, why wouldn't I be happy? We're 3-3. We get to enjoy this one for an extra 7 days. Why wouldn't I be happy? The season's alive. They got to win.
The only thing I know, man, is I woke up this morning feeling great. The coffee tasted better. The food tasted better. I saw Eagle fans at work just smiling at them. So the Eagle fan at the gym tonight, he put his head down, looked away. I'm like, no, don't walk away. I got to say hello, man. See how you doing on this Monday? I'm happy. Listen, it's not perfect. It's not pretty. It's a win, a much needed win. 3-3 going into the bye. You can get healthy. You can figure things out and improve and make a run for the playoffs.
No, it always feels good waking up the day after the morning, like you said, or the day after a win in the morning. You know, the coffee tastes better, like you said. And there's an Eagle fan that I work with also. I printed out that CBS photo with Fireman Ed in the raid. I printed that out, put it right on her door. You know, just being able to talk a little bit of shit, it always feels good.
So the first question I have for you is, what was the stadium like, man? Because I know a lot of Jet fans sold their tickets after the Patriot game. Like, you know what? I don't want to go deal with the Eagle fans travel well. The weather was kind of suspect. What was the environment like? Heavy
tailgate crowd, late arriving crowd. There was definitely some energy in there. I was kind of surprised, though, by the Eagle fans because there was a lot of them, but they weren't even close to being as loud as the Chief contingent that was there and even the Bills fans on the opener. So there was a ton of Eagle fans, but they weren't very loud.
Was it like a sold out stadium? Was it or a lot of empty seats?
Oh, yeah. It looked like it was sold out, yeah.
Yeah, and I give the fans credit, man, because towards the end, the fourth quarter, that place was rocking, man. It seemed like it was loud as hell in there.
They were waiting. I mean, they kind of got taken out, I think, with that first drive, 10 minutes right down the field. But then after that, the defense does what they do. They adjusted and they played great the rest of the way.
So I guess the first question is this the biggest win in Rob Saleh's career as New York Jets head coach?
I don't think so. Second biggest.
Think so?
Beating Buffalo at home to go to 6-3 last year, to me, that tops it. And that's what I'm going to get into about the eerie similarities from this year to last year. I'm kind of flipping the brakes a little bit on the excitement. Again, I'm excited. I'm happy. But there are similarities to last year that you just can't ignore at this point. So,
and there's a lot of things that aren't similar to last year that we can enjoy and just enjoy, prosper, just enjoy a lot of good things. So you think,
unlike some people on YouTube and Twitter, I'm not going to hold back on what I feel just to get some likes and shit like that. I'm going to say what's on my mind. So if
you could say whatever you want.
People don't like it, it's okay. I can take it. I
don't hold back what I think. I never once hold back what I think. I say exactly what's on my mind. I'm not worried about likes, follows, or subscribers. But so you think it's the second biggest win? Do you think this win is bigger than the Buffalo Week 1 win where they won with Aaron Rodgers going down?
I think so.
I think so too.
Considering where this season looked like it was heading to get back-to-back wins, and the Eagles were 5-0, beating them for the first time. I mean, how much does that really matter? I mean, I think for the fans that meant a lot. But yeah, I mean, the Eagles team is loaded, and being down so many guys to walk away with that game, I mean, that was a huge one.
Yeah, but if I'm being completely transparent, when I got the news that Sauce was out, I'm like, they're gonna get killed. I'm like, they're gonna get blown out. I'm like, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Goddard. I'm like, the Jets just can't match up because like there was guys on the field in defense. I don't even know who they even were. I'm like, who? Like what? Like who's? Like the one guy. Yeah.
I had to actually pull up the roster. I'm like 27. Who the fuck is that? Last time I saw 27, I think it was like Daryl Roberts.
Bro, it was crazy because I was like, I just say thing with Romy. I'm like, Romy, who's that guy? Who's this guy? And it's like, it's great. And now, just so you know, somebody needs to buy a Zach Wilson jersey, Mr. Wait, hold on. Wrong one.
Who?
Yes.
You?
No. Balls.
Whoa.
Balls said the Jets win this game. I'm buying a Zach Wilson jersey. So
buy a Tony Adams jersey. Real Victor.
I know. I don't listen, man. I just did an hour stream with Jet Central. We were happy. We were excited. A lot of positives. We talk about some of the concerns, but we don't have
like you always say, Tyson, your favorite quote, winning is a great deodorant.
That's true. That is very true. But there's also a lot of positives that when you win 2 in a row and you beat the Eagles at home in a game you're a huge underdog in. Now, I knew who James was. I didn't know who Hayes was. So I guess we'll start with the defense, because the defense is obviously the biggest story where we made fun of them 85 Bears. They don't back it up.
Yep. And
they've only given up 1 touchdown in their entire season so far, which is crazy. And the biggest difference between this year and last year is the turnovers, bro. They're getting they're opportunistic. They're taking advantage of it. And it got in the point of the game yesterday. Jalen Hurts looked rattled, dude. He was dazed and confused, didn't know what was going on. And it was this. I think I gave credit to the players. This was scheme too, dude, because those guys were exact. They almost knew where a play was going. They were jumping routes. They knew where it was to be. It's impressive, dude. It really.
I think Lane Johnson coming out definitely helped. But I mean, this is a defense that week after week, the one thing that we've never been able to say in the past is making adjustments, and this is something that they do. They get off to their slow start almost every single week. But once they figure it out, usually midway around the second quarter, it's lights out the rest of the way. They play fast. They're physical. They generate a pass rush, often without even sending extra guys. This is a legit dominant defense, at least the way it looks right now. So I don't want to get too high, but the way that they've played these last few weeks is fucking
and
awesome.
It's if they ever put together 4 legit quarters, if they get past that first quarter and come out, dude, they're going to be a top defensive football. Right now, I think Cleveland's better. There's some teams better than them. And some of the stats don't really match up actually how they're playing, because they're playing ridiculous, dude. And, when Carl Lawson was reactivated, I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, how much is he going to play?
Yeah.
And Saleh's sticking to it, man. Bryce Huff needs to get paid, bro.
Now.
We said this.
Now.
We've been saying this for what we were made in the preseason, that he's playing in the preseason games. Yep. And week by week, his price is going higher. Higher and higher and higher. Best
pressure rate in all of football since last year. I mean, what are they waiting for? The price is only going up at this point, and it's not like you're going to have Lawson here next year. He's going to be gone. Why not have him and Jermaine Johnson as your 2 staples on the outside for the next 4 or 5 years?
And the thing is too, it's he has the pressure rate with less snaps than everybody else. His snaps aren't even close, dude. So you have Bryce Huff, who is completely coming on, disruptive force, to Jermaine Johnson, who is his stats don't really reflect how much of an impact he's making, dude. He is a beast off the edge, bro. He is literally disrupting things, relentless. And once they say if a ball carrier gets past him, they all go after him. They don't give up on plays, man, which is really impressive.
And how quick they get there too. I mean, the quarterback's got to get rid of it quick. It helps the secondary, especially when they're down guys. I mean, everything starts up front in the trenches, and that's where they're winning.
Yeah, and then you look at Quinnen Williams, who is getting double teamed, triple teamed, and
all
then
the dirty work.
Yeah, and the guy that nobody's really talking about is John Franklin Myers is doing a lot of really good things too. It's they're as a unit, they are collectively all contributing. And then you bring in McDonald, he did some things, and then Carl Lawson did things too. Nobody wants to talk about it because everybody wants to trade him.
Yep.
And the more I think about it, I wouldn't trade him, Duke. I don't think you're going to get anything for him. And you're one, just God forbid, an injury to Huff or Jermaine Johnson away from saying, hey, you know what? We could probably use Carl Lawson right now. I'm not going to throw him away, dude. He did some really good things yesterday, too.
There's no reason to. With how they want to keep guys fresh, how they rotate guys in and out, there's no reason at all to trade Carl Lawson.
Yep. No, so you look at the defensive front, was good. Now, what is most impressive to me is the linebackers yesterday looked fucking ridiculous.
Beast.
Quincy Williams is playing at an all-pro level, dude. He is he's probably
best player on defense right now.
Right? He has to be. He's probably the most improved player that we've seen under in the last few years on his team, right?
He might have made the biggest jump from one year to the next of any player I've seen over the last 5 or 10 years.
Yep.
That's how much better he's gotten from where he was last year. Just faster, more physical. Even against the pass where he's struggled a little bit. Unbelievable, dude.
Bro, and then even CJ Mosley, dude. CJ Mosley, it's he's a tenacious leader. But when they start hitting, when they're in rhythm right there, they're just lighting everybody up. And it's Sherwood kind of gets lost in the shuffle. You really don't see what he's doing because these two guys are flying around just cracking everybody.
Yep. It's fun to watch, man. Fun to watch. They all just feed off each other. Great team defense.
And it's just that front seven, they can, that was my concern. All right, Sauce is out. DJ Reed is out. Eccles is out. Justin Hardy's out. I'm what are they going to do in the secondary? And I'm can this front hide the secondary? And they didn't have to. Because, bro, the secondary, it's Bryce Hall is making plays. Craig James is making plays. Tay Hayes. I'm all these guys, who the hell are they? And how are they playing so well?
Yeah, tackling was a little suspect early on, but they cleaned that up really quick. Craig James, I think he got targeted, 2 times? And then you got Bryce Hall with the interception, Adams with the pick to seal it. Glad to have him back with all the expectations that we were talking about with him in preseason. So just top to bottom, that entire defense, every unit just playing well.
No, it's really impressive, dude. It's really like, it's just, and then you have, Whitehead still frustrates me because he's still going for the big hits, especially in the one touchdown. He's clearly going for the big hit. If he was wrapped up and tackled, he probably got on the 1 yard line, which is just frustrating. But then Tony Adams, a guy that we didn't know who he wasn't playing in the preseason. We're like, who is this kid? What is he doing? And week by week, you're seeing his range. You're seeing a lot of good things. And then the big interception, dude, that was just like, this is incredible.
That was huge. That completely changed the perception of not just this game, but the season. Being 2-4 versus now 3-3, beating the Eagles, a legitimate Super Bowl contender, completely changes everything.
Oh, 100%, dude. Because now you're looking at, you beat the Giants, you're 4-3, you're making a run, you're not chasing it. It's the only thing you wish is that the Eagles were an AFC team. Because then you see, you know what? Now we made up for that Patriots loss, which is brutal.
I wish we could have traded those two, but
because the AFC right now is so close. Like everybody's all bunched together, like 3-3. They're all in the same thing. So it's going to come down to the conference record and shit like that. So it's a huge win. It gets us back in the mix, but you need to stack up these, the AFC wins. You're playing the Giants, which is huge, but
you take them any way you can get them.
Oh, 100%.
Still get 10 wins. So
the one thing I'm not doing,
shot of making the playoffs.
And what's funny is you're talking about similar to last year. The one thing that I'm not going to do is last year is I'm not going to say the rest of the schedule is easy. These are all winnable games.
That's part of what I was going to get into. A tiny fraction of what I was going to get into.
Because everybody keeps telling me how easy the games are. I'm like, there's nothing easy. I assume nothing. My focus is the Giants and nothing past the Giants. Like, I don't want to hear how easy things are.
It's a week-to-week league, and this is still a week-to-week team in my eyes. So
100%.
Lots of proof.
Lot to prove, but I give this defense so much credit. I give Ulbrich credit too, because in big spots they're blitzing now. Like they're getting a lot more aggressive now when they have to. Like they're not standing pat. Like you knew AJ Brown was getting his yards yesterday. We all knew that. You're not going to shut them down, but you got them yards. But they cramp up when they have, or they clamp up when they have to, and then just the sacks. It's just like big time sacks, the pressures.
And even some of the big plays that they got. I mean, it took, a perfect throw from Jalen Hurts on the one, to AJ Brown on the sideline. Actually, 2 to AJ Brown on the sideline, the one deep ball and the one where he scrambled out. So, it's just unbelievable what the defense was able to do.
No, and I was trying to think of like, when's the last time we saw a defense play like this?
Last year in the first half of the season.
Yeah, but I think this is better because they're getting turnovers though. They're literally, 3-4 turnovers a week is crazy. The sacks, and it's like, it's a young.
Is that sustainable though?
I think so, because you're doing this without Reed and Sauce. I think it is. Okay. I definitely think it is, because it's just the only thing is will opposing offenses start figuring out what the Jets are doing and they got to adjust more. That's the thing. But I saw the one play like Quinn had like 2 guys on. They're like they're swarming around Quinn and everybody else taking advantage of it, which is great. Yeah.
Can't do that. Yep.
They just got to keep staying healthy. I mean, but getting everybody back is great. I guess we'll go. I was trying to think, is this better than the Rex Ryan defenses?
They're different kind of defenses, because Rex was just, the way he would blitz and just leave Revis on an island. I think they play a different style, but as far as just shutting teams out in the second half, if they could start like legitimately like closing out games, that would be the one thing that Rex Ryan's defense never did. So the fact that they were able to get that interception yesterday when they needed it with 2 minutes left as their 4th takeaway, like doing shit like that, I think could separate them from Rex's defenses.
Yeah, I mean, you figure Bryce Hall the last 2 weeks, big plays, Quentin Williams, the interception, but the last 2 weeks, they closed out games. Like the things that we always complained about, soft zone, don't blitz enough, don't close out games. They're addressing all that. Now it's just don't start out slow. Don't have that first drive in the first quarter that just give up points every time. And then it's impressive.
Yeah, coming out of the bye, I'm sure they'll start fast and then they'll play bad.
No, we're going to put it all together, dude. It's going to be a good year. So we have a question for you. Yeah. Are you selling the pullovers?
No, they are not for sale.
I take one of those. Shit.
Yeah, pretty nice, right?
Where'd you get that from?
Jay.
That bastard. I like that. It looks good.
Thank
Rex's defense was bend but don't break. Yeah, these guys are closing it out, man.
Well, I mean, that's also what we were saying about Salah's defense up until about 2 weeks ago, right? It was bend but don't break. They can't get off the field on 3rd down. They give up long drives. They only give up field goals. So keep this going.
Yeah, and getting the turnovers is huge. We'll go to special teams next. I thought Irv Charles has been, when Justin Hardy was out, was another thing. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you kill me with this shit. So Irv Charles, dude, it's like you're seeing the athletic ability, you're seeing how physical he is. How can you not get snaps on offense? Like, give the kid a chance. Like, he's got to be better than Randall Cobb.
Anyone's got to be better than Cobb at this point. He's been on the field for how many plays and he's got how many yards? Whether it's, I know Gibson was a little banged up coming into this game, but between him, Hardman, Irv Charles, Brownlee, who we've all forgotten about, give somebody else a chance.
I'm at this Monday Night Football game repping all green all day. There you go, man. Good job, David. So
thank you, David.
The thing about special teams interesting is that if you're not going to trust Hardman for whatever reason, and Gibson's banged up, I don't want to see Randall Cobb back on returns. Like, I didn't understand that. I'm like, this is where the roster management gets a little interesting because it's like, all right, Gibson's obviously very explosive. You saw the end around and everything else, but if he's not going to be a returner, Cobb is not. Yeah,
who do you want to see then? Who do you want to see then?
Well, then, I mean, at some point you can bring Izzy back, right? Like, you could start doing roster gymnastics. You don't want to have 4 running backs. I understand that, but there's some, you can't, like, the returner should be more explosive than Cobb, dude.
I think Gibson's still the guy. I think he was just banged up this week, and that's why he didn't get the opportunities.
So he was, as far as I was at the game yesterday. Did you see him? Did you meet him?
No, did not.
Come on, man.
I was in my club seats enjoying life.
Yep. Here's a first full circle moment. That was our first one in those green and white uniforms since 2020, the Braden Mann game.
Oh, and he was there too.
Yeah. Shanking a punt like he usually does, which is perfect. He was in midseason form. The other thing is Zuerlein is money.
Automatic.
But
his leg's going to start getting tired at this point.
Here is a play that, if for those watching the stream, where I went out of my ever-loving mind. The 39-yard line, right?
Yeah.
They decide to not go for the field goal. I think it was like 4th and 10. Not go for the field goal.
Took the delay of game, right?
Not go for it. Take the delay of game and punt.
Yep.
On the 39-yard line. Bro, I went out of my mind. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I would have went for it. I'm like, you're not going to beat the Eagles being this conservative. That was like some Todd bullshit, dude.
I wasn't that angry about it because at that point the defense was playing so well. And I think Saleh was just trusting that his defense wasn't going to give up an 80-yard
39-yard line.
But it's a 56-yard field goal. You miss that, it's 20 yards, and the Eagles are.
He's hitting everything else.
I get it.
Listen, man, if anybody can get me tickets, I'm down. I am 1,000% down for the Giant game. I would love to go to that game. That's going to be
expensive for that one right now.
Yeah, no, that's a great rivalry game. So we have that special teams in Morstad, Big Two. They do a lot of really good things, man. It's like the 3 facets of the game. They got 2 of them covered for sure.
Yep.
Then you go to the offense, which is interesting. There's a lot of good on the offense, and there's some bad. So it seemed like they started out the game where they wanted to use Breece Hall out of the backfield as a receiver and run the ball at Dalvin Cook, which was kind of like, all right, especially when you had the first series, Breece Hall doesn't do much. Second series comes in and Dalvin Cook's running the ball. I'm like, wait, like feed Breece Hall. Like, I know that like running game is going to be slow. That's going to be struggle because they're trying to stop it. But Breece should be the guy though, right?
Well, even though they're going to say he's not on a pitch count, you're also not going to give him 25, 30 carries either. He's coming off major surgery, so you still have to limit to some degree how you're going to use him and how many times you're going to use him consecutively on one drive also. I think that's just part of how you're going to manage him. You don't want to be stupid.
It just seems like they like it's almost like they feel obligated to get Dalvin Cook carries. It really feels like to me. It's just I don't know why I feel like that.
I think he's just their number 2 back. If Carter eventually, tops him, which he hasn't really done much to warrant more playing time either at this point, then he'll probably be in that role. But you're not going to have Breece Hall out there for 80, 90% of the snaps. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, how many carries did he have yesterday? He didn't have a lot. It's like I just seem like when you get in the flow of your offense, I'd like to see Breece just get more action. Like to have Dalvin in the second series, I'm like, come on, second series.
But if you're doing it early and then you need him in a close game late, which they did, then what?
True.
Yeah,
I mean, and then the use of Michael Carter too. It's like the way this offense is now, if they're going to do like that, I think you need more of a home run guy. And you have that. You have it in Izzy. Like, if you're not going to have 4 running backs active, you have Bawden active. You have to as a fullback. How do you get Izzy involved in this game plan? I think, especially if you're not going to use Hardman, how do you get Izzy involved in this? I think you have to, right?
I don't see any reason not to give him an opportunity. And this is the perfect week to do it. You have the bye week. You can come up with some packages to get him comfortable. Like, to me, this is the perfect time to do it. And like you said, also, if you want to use him on special teams as well, if Gibson's still banged up, go for that too.
Because I think you need speed, dude. Because right now you have Breece Hall, which is great. Garrett Wilson's he's not like elite level speed. Hardman you're not using for whatever reason. And that's really, Lazard's not a speedster. He's more like a big guy.
Yep.
So you go from the running backs to the receivers where Garrett Wilson's a dog. The one pass in the end zone, he threw a little bit
off the guy's head.
But dude, it's just crazy. Like, and the one thing that drives me crazy, it's like, when they get in the red zone, you have these huge athletes like Garrett Wilson, Lazard's a jump ball guy. Like you can throw the ball to Conklin. They refuse to try to use. Like it's like either the play call, they don't want to take a shot in the end zone. Zach's not pulling it, but like throw the ball up in the air. Let them at least compete for it.
I would definitely love to see them just isolate Garrett more and, give him some opportunities to do what he did on that deep ball and just go up and get it. 100%. He showed he could do it against Buffalo. Like, give him those chances. But there's also plays like 1st and 10 on the 18 early in the game. I think it was second quarter where Zach was just locked in completely on Garrett. Uzomah slips right by the linebacker. I don't know if you saw it or if they showed it on replay. Yeah. There was nobody near him. My entire section was screaming, Uzomah's wide open before Zach even threw it. So, like, it's little shit like that. And we saw the Conklin play last week. Like, those are things in the red zone. I mean, you want to blame play calling to some degree, but in the red zone, shit tightens up. They know you're going to throw it on certain plays, and it's a tighter area to work with, tighter windows.
Yeah, their usage of the play action was strange sometimes. Their aggressiveness in the red zone. The red zone right now is literally the red zone. Like they stop. Like they just stop doing what they're doing because between the 20s, they're creative. They do good things. You had the Gibson end around. They do so. It's like I still think like as good as Garrett Wilson is, and Lazard's frustrating, man, because he had the drop, he had the nice catch, they had the bad penalty, which was whatever. But it's like I think they need another receiver, dude. I think they got to add somebody else to this mix. They have to. That's why I wish they went with JSN at pick 15. Not that I still don't like McDonald. I think he's going to be a player, but he still needs some work. If you could have gotten that number one or that guy opposite Garrett to be that true number 2, I would have loved if they did that. But yeah, they definitely need another weapon. And it's even coming out of the bye. Let Brownlee get some chances. Like if you praise him endlessly, and like Cobb is kind of stagnant. He had 2 drops. He looks slow. He doesn't really look like he's part of the passing game. Can it hurt to have Charles get a chance or Brownlee? Well, next year it'll be Devontae Adams, so we'll be all right. Probably right. So you go the tight end group. Conklin is becoming. I was trying to think of who he reminds me of because he catches the ball. He's like a bull. He's like a tank, dude. He just mauls people and drags them. And he's becoming more consistent of a pass catcher, too, which is good. Yeah, last year he struggled a little bit, putting some balls on the ground. He had a few drops, a couple of fumbles, so good to see him cleaning that up. He's a beast, dude. So he's dragging guys. Uzomah's a really good blocker. And the one thing you notice in all these plays downfield, these guys are all downfield. Even the receivers are all downfield blocking, mauling, especially Ruckert, just mauling people, dude. Yep, and that's what I worried about when they lost Corey Davis, because that was the one thing that he always brought, that aggressiveness in the blocking game. But they kind of get that with Lazard and with all the tight ends they use. Yeah, and I still want to see Ruckert more involved too. I think Ruckert should get more opportunities too because he makes big catches. He made a tough catch, and he's another guy he's like Conklin. Like after he catches the ball, he's looking for contact. He's looking to just light somebody up. So it's great. So then we go to the offensive line, which I mean I give Becton credit. I saw people kind of antagonizing Becton today. I really don't know why, dude. He's 2 years. He hasn't played in 2 years. He's playing left tackle. I think for the most part he's playing fairly consistently. He's gonna he got beat yesterday for a sack, but dude, he's doing a hell of a job, dude. That's for the most part. I think he's playing well. I know everyone's circulating that one clip where he shoves the guy with one arm and then he starts pointing at him. Like he's definitely getting comfortable week by week. I think he's just getting stronger. He's getting better. I'm proud of Becton for where he's at right now. Yeah, 100%, dude. He's playing at a high level. He's playing physical. He's playing nasty. And he's coming off as a really good teammate, too. He's really supporting all his teammates. He's really, you can tell he's actively involved in it. He loves it. A different person from where he was last year. 100%, dude. And the thing is, I was just talking to who was I talking to? Somebody. I was like, dude, when Dwayne Brown comes back, I'm like, he should be sitting. I don't put Dwayne Brown back as left tackle. Depends how Max Mitchell keeps playing. Man, I don't move Becton, dude. I don't. Do you give Brown a shot at right tackle? He's never played there before. I don't know. I don't want to see. Because the last thing you want to do is move Becton to right, left, and then Dwayne Brown comes in and struggles again. Is not playing well. You kind of if you go by what Salah's mantra is, you earn your playing time, and it's all about he's maximized it, man. Depending on Tippmann, also you might want that veteran presence on the right side. I don't know. I don't know if Brown would do it or not. Would he do it? Would we try it? I don't see why not. I mean, it's gonna get him on the field. I think Becton earned it, dude. I think he deserves the right to be there. You got to have your best 5 out there, regardless. So if Mitchell can keep playing well, I mean, I'm all about keeping him out there. He's under team control for the next 2 years, relatively cheap as a 4th-round pick. So if he keeps playing serviceable, at least, I'm good with it. Yeah, and if Mitchell struggles, put Billy Turner there. Try him there. See if he can play better. Whatever. I mean, you can try it at least if he's struggling. But I wouldn't upset Becton just to do this and say, okay, can we get kind of force feed Brown in there? Yeah. So then the game's going on, and then you friggin' see you see Tippmann go down, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm like, because he was literally playing well. The Jets were running to the right. Like, they look really comfortable going to the right. He goes down, and then Schweitzer comes in and was just like, he started out awful.
So when he tackled somebody forward, I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Dude, he got literally ran over like twice. They showed like the Fox broadcast is terrible. Like, you didn't miss much, dude.
Oh,
so many commercials and no replays. Like, you got minimal replays, but the few they showed, he was literally getting bowled over, dude. Like, he got the one holding penalty. The guy ran him over. He's like basically held on for dear life. Like, please don't kill my quarterback. But then second half he picked it up a little bit, but it wasn't pretty, dude.
That's something you got to worry about. Just, the depth on the O-line, humans going down. You got that's a concern on the right side right now.
Well, that was
hopefully it's not a major injury with Tippmann though.
That's what I was expecting Saleh to say if they lost the game. Like, we ran out of humans because like it was like everybody was going down, phantom concussions, all this other shit. But I think if Tippmann's serious, and we won't know till apparently next week, they got to sign a guard, dude. You got to go out and get help. Like, you can't stay status quo with this team, I don't think.
Lyle Collins, he can play guard and tackle, right?
But it makes you wonder, though, because if he worked out for both the Jets and Giants, and neither one of them signed him, did he not have like an impressive workout? Like, was it maybe like, all right, or maybe he wants too much money?
It's possible. Could be both. Coming off major surgery, also maybe he's not fully there yet.
See, Sneakers, the question is, what was the injury for Tippmann? I would try to answer this, but whatever Saleh tells us is a lie. So if he says thigh, it's probably shoulder. If he says he's going to be fine, he's probably going to be out 3 to 4 weeks. You really can't go by what he's going to tell us.
We're not going to know for 9 days anyway, so yeah. No point speculating.
So did he really? Is this true? Apparently Collins failed his physical.
So there you go then.
I didn't know that. Interesting. So now we come back to this is the negative primetime segment.
Let's do it.
Where the anger comes out, the rage, the negativity, the toxicity. And just so you guys know, before we go into this, I made a video prior to this show. Nice and positive. If you're looking for happiness, go watch my video, and then we'll deal with this.
Go for it.
So I will say this. The Jets offense becomes ridiculously frustrating on third down in the red zone. It's just rough to watch sometimes.
Dude, the last 2 games, they are 0 for 8 in the red zone.
It's brutal.
Until they get set up on the 8-yard line and the Eagles let Breece Hall walk in.
Yep.
They can't score touchdowns. And they can't convert third downs on obvious passing downs. So that tells you there's a problem. And even when we were talking about the offensive line, they gave up a few pressures. There's also a few of those where the quarterback has to have that internal clock and sense the pressure and know when to get rid of the ball. The play action boot, he had plenty of room to go a little bit deeper, to get outside. There was somebody right near the pylon. He could have threw it at his feet. Got to get rid of that football. You can't take a 12-yard sack in that situation.
Yep.
So listen,
I think 2 of the 5 sacks were his fault. I think 3 of them.
That's where I had it too. That's where I had it too.
And I also think he's just still learning, man. I think it's unfortunate that he's in this spot where he's learning, but I think it's just that's where he's at. But I also think I'll say this: he's making throws this year he definitely wasn't making last year. The 2-point conversion, the one throw to Conklin, we took the hit and threw it over and completed that one. That was nice.
My issue is that they are still winning in spite of him, and
I disagree. Completely disagree.
If not for that Adams interception at the end of the game, what is the narrative today? That the defense gave you 3 takeaways and the offense only gave you 3 points out of it. 3 takeaways with great field position, and they came away with 3 points out of it. The offense produced 9 points. You take away the takeaway at the end of the first half, which was 30 yards and then a quick field goal with 2 minutes.
Yep.
And then the touchdown, which was set up for them. The offense put up 10 points. They put up 10 points against the Patriots. They put up 10 points against Dallas. The Bronco game, you had the defensive touchdown, you had the safety, you had the special teams fumble inside the 20. They went 3 and out and got a field goal. The offense is not putting up points, and that falls on the quarterback. And this is what I want to get into, the eerie similarities to last year. So the Jets were 6-3, okay? They won 5 out of 6 games. I'm going to read these quarterback numbers for you, okay? 18 of 36, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. 14 of 21 against the Dolphins, 210, no touchdowns, no picks. Then they win 3 in a row against Hall of Fame quarterbacks that they embarrassed: Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Josh Allen. 10 of 18, 110 yards, no interceptions, no picks. Broncos, 16 of 26, 121, no touchdowns, no picks. Buffalo Bills, 18 of 25, 154, 1 touchdown, no picks. So he's protecting the ball. He's not turning it over, but he's not making plays either. In those 5 wins, in those 5 wins, he threw for 847 yards with only 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. This year in 3 wins, 140 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. 199 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. 186 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. This is the exact same script as last year. And the big monumental win against Buffalo, do you know who they played the following week?
Patriots.
Wrong. It was the bye week.
Oh.
And we were on cloud 9, and then we had the Patriot game. And look how quickly things changed.
But
we
then
were winning in spite of him until we stopped winning in spite of him. That is the only thing that could be a difference. Breece Hall still being healthy and a defense that for now looks a lot better.
But see, and I'll disagree. You're saying they're winning in spite of him. I'm saying he's contributing to the win because now they're putting together drives. The defense isn't always 3-and-out defense back on the field. He's showing better footwork. He's showing better accuracy. And now Aaron Rodgers is back in the building helping him. He's doing Aaron Rodgers-like things that we haven't seen either. The little shuttle pass, little things. And I think it's not going to be perfect. He's still learning a new offense. It's not like he's not Mike LaFleur year 3. He's learning a new offense. He's learning new teammates, and he's getting better. And as they figure out what he can and can't do, they open up the offense. So I'll say, yes, he's missing open receivers. That's unfortunate. They're also not helping him with terrible penalties, drop passes, and play calling at times that's suspect. So there's times the play calling, I can call him. I'm just like, and I understand, listen, I understand he didn't get 200 yards, he didn't get that. Yesterday, all throughout the NFL, it was a low-scoring day in the NFL. Everybody had low-scoring days. Everybody had bad days. Nobody's lighting up with the fucking Dolphins. But the kid is showing progress. To me, it's not like last year at all.
For many quarterbacks, though, that's not normal. This has been what Zach has done.
So you're telling me he's not better than last year?
No, he's slightly improved. But this is exactly...
He's light years improved from what he was last year. His footwork, his command of the offense.
This is exactly how they were winning last year. Exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. Dominant defense and a great running game.
But they didn't run the ball yesterday, though. How many rushing yards they have yesterday?
Yesterday was the dominant defense. The Broncos was the dominant run game.
But if they didn't run the ball, how'd they move the ball?
In between the 20s, okay.
Okay,
and, so and again, 40 of those yards comes from Garrett Wilson plucking the ball off the guy's helmet. If he turns around, that's a pick. If that's not a fourth or fifth string corner, that's probably a pick. I'll give him credit for giving his receiver a chance to go get it. But, dude, in the red zone, there are guys literally wide open. We all saw the Conklin play last week. Yep. Nobody within 10 yards of him.
I know.
He doesn't see it because he's locked on somebody else.
He's a work in progress.
Week it's Uzama.
But I'm not calling him.
That's the problem, though. You can't sustain this.
But nobody's saying sustain it.
If we're going on a serious run, the offense has to be able to put up points.
But listen, I agree with you. I said as of now, he's helping them win, and it should get better as the season goes on. It's 6 games. It's not week 14. We're not saying it's week 14 because right now the offensive line is makeshift and they can't run the football. If they were running the football 150 yards a game and he still couldn't throw it, he's being asked to make throws. He's making some. He's not making some. But he's getting better, and he's going to continue to get better.
The sample size is still too small for me because even in the
Broncos, it's still too small. But I'd rather be encouraged that he's going to get plenty of work with Aaron Rodgers side by side for the next 2 weeks during the bye and continue to get better.
I hope so. Listen, I'm rooting for the kid. Like for everyone that's in the comments saying I don't like him or I want to see him fail. Let's just remember in training camp and preseason when everyone said, "Oh, do what the 49ers did and cut your losses or just cut him outright." I was pulling for the kid. I was given the reports from training camp saying, you know what, this kid looks better than the kid I saw last year in training camp. All right, so I'm not saying there isn't some slight improvement, but the games are being played out exactly the same way, in my opinion. Yeah, he's making a few extra throws, but even some of the throws he's making, I mean, Garrett Wilson on the quick slants, you know, the cornerbacks are giving him a 10-yard cushion. He's wide open. The dump off to Breece Hall, not the shovel pass. That was nice. I'll give him that. That was creative. But the other one, it was a quick dump off right in front of him. Breece Hall goes 20 yards. Like he's taking what's there, but he's not making plays, especially when they matter the most.
I think,
and eventually that's going to catch up to you.
Listen,
third down, red zone.
No, listen, I agree with you. They're leaving
playing like this,
but they're leaving points on the board. He's playing better than last year, and there's also other things happening that they're not helping him either. Where drop passes, bad penalties, and I think at times play calling, which is a solid thing. They're not aggressive inside the 20. They're happy kicking the field goal. It seems like he's happy kicking the field goal.
If guys are wide open, how can we blame the play calling? If he's not seeing it, that's not on the play calling. That's on him.
But okay, so how many missed opportunities did he have yesterday? How many guys wide open did he miss yesterday?
I saw at least 3.
Okay, so how many times did he pass yesterday?
There were big plays. One was a gimme touchdown.
Okay, and then that's your evaluation of Zach Wilson. What was your evaluation of Jalen Hurts yesterday?
We're really going to compare that?
No, we're evaluating.
And what do you think the Jets defense would do to Zach Wilson?
But I'm just asking you. But isn't the Eagles defense good? Going into the
what
game,
is the narrative? Hold on. No. What is the narrative of this game? If Tony Adams doesn't get that interception, are we talking about Zach's progress? Or are we talking about the points left on?
But that's not what happened, though. The Jets won the game. So you say, well, what
yes,
if this
because of Tony Adams and because the defense got 4 takeaways. What is the narrative if he doesn't get that pick? Let's just say Jalen Hurts scrambles out, takes a knee, they waste 10 seconds, 40 more seconds go off the clock, then they punt it. Zach has to go 50 yards to get a field goal in under a minute. What's the narrative when that doesn't happen?
Let's say they played in snow. Let's just deal with what's going on.
Because the defense bailed him out, which is my point. We saw this last year.
But going into this game, everybody said the Jets are going to get killed because the Eagles have a good defense and they're not going to be able to stop the offense. Well, the Eagles had a good defense until what? Zach had no turnovers, and now, Zach missed some open guys. He had no turnovers. He managed the offense. They moved the ball. They got stuck in the red zone. Getting stuck in the red zone is fixable.
They also didn't have Jalen Carter. They were also missing half their corners, and the Jets defense played lights out and gave him countless opportunities.
Now the Eagles defense sucks yesterday. So the Eagles defense sucks now because they missed.
I didn't say they suck, but
they weren't good.
They were down corners just like we were. I mean,
okay.
And look what our defense did. They bailed him out.
They didn't bail him out. They bailed the offense as a whole. The offense as a whole. You can blame Zach. They all contribute to mistakes. You take away the Allen Lazard penalty, and then what happens? That penalty was huge.
All right, so it's another field goal we get.
Why is that? Because you just assume we're going to kick field goals.
I mean, we were 0 for 8. Why would I assume that was going to be different?
They can improve the
I
red
agree,
zone.
that was a shitty penalty.
They can improve the red zone play. They can do a lot of good things because they're still figuring out this offense with Zach. I think he's playing a lot better than last year, and they're not winning in spite of him. They're winning with him. I think he's part of the equation now.
This was how he was playing last year. Watch the Bill game. Watch the Dolphin game.
It's not because they were running the ball for 180 yards a week last year. They're not running the ball.
He was also making some throws. He was what?
He wasn't making
throws.
He
was over 60. In the Bill game, he was over 60% completions, but it was a lot of dump offs. Same thing with Miami.
He wasn't throwing the ball down.
They also had the run game, which they had against the Broncos.
Oh man, I don't know.
This game, the defense, dude. In their 2 wins, not counting the Bronco game against the Bills and the Eagles, you got 4 takeaways. And you barely won the game. How can we count on that? How can we count on that every single week?
But you're missing my point. I'm not saying the Jets can play like this the rest of the year and go to playoffs. I'm saying as of now, he's helping them win, and I expect the red zone offense to get better, and I expect Zach to continue to grow because he's improving every week. He's playing better football. That's what I'm saying. But
it's got to get a lot better if we're actually talking about making a playoff run like everyone's talking about now, which I hope they do. The quarterback's got to play a lot better.
And they all do. Everybody in the offense has to play better. They have to run the ball more than 60 yards a week. You got to get Breece Hall a lot more rushing yards than that. You got to catch passes. You got to get rid of dump. You got to do a lot of things.
But do you deny or not that if Tony Adams doesn't get that pick, the conversation today around Zach and the offense is completely different?
It'll be all focused on the red zone. Red zone, all the problems in the red zone. That's what we're talking about. The Eagles also missed a field goal too. But they'll be talking about should you let Breece Hall score or not down there when the Eagles let him score right away and how Saleh handled that. Should Breece Hall just taking a knee? They're going to talk about all kinds of shit there.
That's what I'm saying. The last 2 weeks, they're only offensive touchdowns. The Eagles let them walk in for 1, and Breece Hall goes for 60 on the other.
Dude, I'm not arguing with you. All I'm saying, listen, I understand they're not scoring enough points, but at the same time, they're finding ways to win, and they're improving while they're doing that.
Yes,
while he's learning and growing, they're learning. So now they have 2 more weeks to keep working on it. Aaron Rodgers is going to be there working with him. Like, listen, fix this in the red zone, fix this, look for this. They're going to do all that. I think it's going to get better.
I hope so, man. Because
that's what we got to do. We have to hope for that. If not, because right now, the way he's playing, they're not trading for nobody. They're not going to go after Tannehill. They're not going to go after Cousins. Like, this is the guy the rest of the year. Aaron Rodgers comes back.
Yeah, and that's also where I disagree. Because I saw your video saying this is Zach's team, and it's far too early to say that. Because
for the rest of the year, yes, it is. The trade deadline's the 31st. You got 2 weeks. Who are they trading for in 2 weeks? Nobody.
Even if they don't trade for anybody, you still have. Why'd you sign Simeon then?
Dude, by then, Zach will get at least 3 more games.
Dude, hold on.
He's going to.
And this is why I made the point about last year. They were 6-3 at that time when Zach was playing not to turn the ball over, and they were winning in spite of him. And it took 1 game at New England where he went, I think, 9 of 22, under 100 yards. It took that 1 game, and they pulled the plug.
Okay. So then you're gonna
how
go.
Are we saying after 2 weeks now, where the running game last week carried him and the defense this week carried him, that it's Zach's team now? Listen, I hope he takes the reins and runs with it and gets better every week.
Because
he might be the best option, But I'm not going down with him if the next 2 weeks out of the bye he plays like shit. I'm not flushing the season away. This team is way too good.
I understand, but see, what the approach you're taking is I expect Zach to fail and then not play well. This shouldn't be his team.
I don't.
My expectation.
I'm saying if it happens.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna take the opposite approach. If he continues to grow like he's doing now, and the offense opens up, he's not coming off the field. Like as of today, the trade deadline's 2 weeks away. They don't play next week. They're not trading for nobody. They're not going to get Cousins. They're not going to get Daniel. They're not going to get nobody. So this is the guy. So if you're a Jet fan, you'd be like, you know what? I hope this fucking kid keeps playing better, and they start figuring it out because we can make a run with him.
If he,
so I'm hoping you'd rather be negative.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
if he keeps getting better, like you said, he keeps getting better, there's no reason to take him off the field. I completely agree with you. I'm saying if the other thing happens, like what happened last year.
Yeah, but last year's last year.
Willing to make a change.
If you live in the past, you stay in the past. I'm not worried about last year. I'm looking at what they're doing now and how it should get better.
And I'm saying that what they're doing now is exactly the same thing that we saw last year.
Then why they then it's just like, well, we did it last year. They did it with Mike White with LaFleur. So now we're going to compare Mike White to what Hackett and Zach Wilson.
Well, we're still blaming the offensive coordinator. Apparently, we're still winning.
Last year was Mike White. Mike White wasn't doing it either.
I mean, they still put up what in Mike White's how many starts? They put up 400 plus yards of offense, which Zach has done once in his career.
But they were losing with that. So now the passing yards matter. Is it passing yards or winning that matters?
If he has a dominant defense and a run game like we have now,
but he had that last year. They
need
weren't winning.
At least average to better than average quarterback play if you want to go on a serious run. And right now he's teetering on that. They can't put up points
yet.
Okay. And that's why I'm saying if he gets better, especially in the red zone, especially on third down,
so he's the only one that's better.
I hope it happens.
So so right now,
I hope it happened last year and it didn't.
So, last year Mike White couldn't do it. Joe Flacco couldn't do it. Anybody else couldn't do it either.
The first start that Mike White had after Zach got benched, he threw for 310 yards.
And he was their savior. How many games did he win?
And then he got hurt.
How many games did he win? He had all the passing yards, all the fancy passing yards.
Did the defense play well the final 7 games?
So right now, I'm not going to watch the all 22. I'm going to trust my eyes. So what you're telling me right now is the primary reason why the Jets cannot score a touchdown. All the blame is going to be on Zach Wilson.
Not all the blame, no. The biggest reason, yes, is Zach Wilson.
So not the play calling, not drop passes, not nothing. It's all Zach Wilson. So Hackett's a perfect coordinator.
Did you hear it? All Zach Wilson? No. Biggest reason, yes. Do the drops count? Absolutely. Did the offensive line give up some pressures? Yes, that's going to happen, especially when you're down, guys. Does he have to sense the pressure better? Have an internal clock, get rid of it quicker? Yes, he does.
Yep.
It's not just on him, but to me, he's still the biggest factor in why we're not scoring points.
Yep, I don't think so. I think he's a factor in it. I think there's a lot of contributing factors. I think he's getting better. I think they're going to play better. I definitely they're going to play better. You can see it. They're just growing and learning, man. It's going to come. I'm telling you.
In their 8 wins over the last 2 years with him, he's
I don't care about last year. I don't care. You can give two shits.
Passes.
I don't care about last year. I don't care. Right. Different coordinator, different player. It's a completely different. It's a completely different situation.
Very similar player. Very similar circumstances.
No, dude. Different coordinator. You literally have Aaron Rodgers helping him. You have better players around him. He's playing.
It's the same coordinator that we were shitting on for the first 4 weeks.
Listen, man. I'd rather take the positive look at this and embrace a lot of positivity and all the good things that are going on. I'm not worried about last year. I'm not worried about all the other shit. It just doesn't. It's like wasted energy.
I'm just not going from down here where we were 2 weeks ago to all the way up here. I'm still right in the middle. It's a week, like I said.
I'm not all the way up anywhere.
In a week-to-week league.
You're not even encouraged by his progress.
It's slightly better, but again,
slightly better.
Yes, because without that Adams interception, you put up 9 points of offense. Your offense generated 9 points, Tyson. How far are we going to lower the bar here?
My bar isn't low, man.
It's just completed passes and hit guys that were wide open.
And they okay.
Isn't the goal to score touchdowns and put up points?
The goal is to win. They did that.
Yes, because the defense got 4 takeaways.
So what? So if Zach throws for 400 yards and they lose, you'd be proud of him?
No. But if the defense gives you that kind of effort, technically.
And they won. They did enough to win. Barely, yes. Barely. Are there style points in winning? What's the most important thing? They won.
Again, I'm happy they won. You're acting like I'm not happy. I'm happy they won. But I'm saying
you don't sound like it. You sound like you just.
This is how the offense keeps playing. We will miss out on the playoffs again. I'm telling you.
But dude, but that point you're saying we agree on. You can't score fucking 14 points a week and win. Obviously, But my expectation is I see how they're making progress against very good teams. They've had a gauntlet of fucking teams. He is making progress. Can he take a step back? Yes. Can he break his leg walking down the steps tomorrow? Of course. But he can also get better, which is what I'm hoping for, because we need that, or this season's gonna be shot because we're not getting. There's no other savior coming in here. The only other savior is gonna be Trevor Siemian. That's it. That's all we got left. The Cousins, Tannehill, it's all gone.
The Chiefs game was his best game,
and they lost.
And then what happened the last 2 weeks?
They won. That's all that matters.
All right.
The red zone has to be better. They have to score more points. But I'm encouraged, dude. There's a lot of good things happening. I think it's only going to improve. I think Hackett's figuring out. And I truly think Rodgers being in the building helps his entire team, where it's just like they're going to sit down and say, listen, this ain't working in the red zone. This ain't working with your footwork. Stop throwing the fucking ball over here. Stop doing this. He threw a couple passes yesterday, looked just like Aaron Rodgers, the one little slide pass. Like, dude, that shit he learned. He's getting better, man. And he's even handling himself better with his teammates. He's in, like,
that I agree with. He's definitely matured. I will give him props on that. It seems like the teammates are responding to him. They're in his corner a little bit more than they were last year. I think that's just more reflective of the overall leadership in the locker room. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not saying there's no progress. To me, it's slight. You think it's major. I think it's slight progress.
I think from where he was to where he is, he's making a lot of progress.
From where he was the first 3 weeks, yes. From where he was last year when they won 5 of 6, I see a very similar player.
He was terrible last year, dude. He couldn't even read a fucking defense. He's actually looking off guys now.
I'm talking when they won 5 out of 6.
He still wasn't good, dude.
When he was hitting all the checkdowns, when he wasn't throwing. Remember how much praise we gave him for not throwing interceptions for like 3 or 4 straight weeks in a row?
Desperate. He was throwing for 100 yards a week. He was just like literally dump pads. He couldn't complete anything else. He couldn't read a defense.
Now we're getting 150. We're getting there.
But he's actually going through his reads.
Maybe in 4 weeks we'll get to 175.
He's actually going through his reads. He actually had 186 yesterday, but that's fine. But the most important thing is he won. He's not costing the game. He's actually helping them win games now. It's not in spite of him. He's helping them. That's what I think.
You can't deny if Tony Adams doesn't get that pick. The conversation.
No, that can go for a lot of things. What if Quinnen Williams drops the interception? What if Greg Zuerlein misses a field goal? What if Breece Hall doesn't score? Like, all those things can be said. It's very easy. If the Jets lose, yes, you can look at everything. That could be the same thing last week with the Bronco game. How the Jets defense, they got lucky there too. Winning is a great deodorant. It helps hide things. But I'd rather win while Zach is learning than lose while Zach is learning. And I think he's learning and improving. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it.
I was hopeful of that last year, and then it all came crashing down. I know you're going to keep saying it's not last year. It's not last year.
It's a different team.
But
this defense is better than last year.
I think so too. But this was the formula that they were winning with last year until they needed their quarterback to make some plays, and then it stopped.
Yeah, and they needed their quarterback to make plays against the Chiefs. He started doing it. They put him in tough spots. They did. The 2 games that were terrible with Dallas because nobody showed up, and the Patriot game was dreadful. Other than that, he's been getting better. He's doing good things, especially since Rodgers has been back, dude. I really think that's a huge difference for his entire team, where they're all being held accountable. And what is this? Although, is this comment about Maccagnan?
Oh, jeez.
Pride time. I remember that video you made about how great Maccagnan's 2016 draft was.
Well, that's proof that I don't delete any of my videos. So
yeah. And we're not going to discuss this year's draft class because nobody's contributing on it. So might as Tippmann. But
there is another video you can look up when I talked about the free agent class with Lawson and Corey Davis. And I think there was a few other guys, Jacob Martin, that they signed. I ripped that free agent class, and I was getting tons of shit in the comments for that one. So,
well, this year, I mean, what's funny is you go through because right now everybody's like, we got to trade all these kind of players. So now it's like trade Lawson, Hardman, and Dalvin Cook. Those are 3 free agents we signed.
Exactly. And
now we're trying to find freaking offensive linemen because Dwayne Brown be brought back is not healthy. The free agents, man, it's
at least they made up for it with guys like with Huff and Quincy as a waiver claim. Like those guys kind of make up for the lack of free agents.
Yeah, and obviously the guys in the secondary too, because these are guys. I mean, it's just and the one guy you feel good for is Bryce Hall, man, because he's a guy that I thought should have been cut in training camp. He's got back-to-back weeks of huge contributions. It's just like you got to feel good for him.
No, absolutely. I was ready to cut him also.
Here's a question for you. How many times did he get into the red zone last year? That's the difference. Yeah, Justin, that's right.
Points. Give me points.
They're getting there, though. They're on the verge. Now, so, John, the comment is Tyson's improving, but not enough. And it's 6 games. It's 6 games.
Okay.
And now he's got to bye. And I expect him to play very well against the Giants. My expectation, they're going to keep rising. Like, okay, kid, you're getting there. You're getting more time. You're getting more coaching. You're more comfortable. Keep improving.
I'm staying steady because I remember what happened last year right out of the bye, a game that was more than winnable when the defense stood on their head and we couldn't get more than 3 points. So,
this year's defense is better than last year's.
I hope so. I think so right now. I do. A lot of football left.
A guy to look to trade for is Garrett Bowles in Denver. Oh, that's because Ian's been saying that. Jet Central's been all over that for 2 weeks already. Yeah. Let's see what we got here.
I don't know if they're going to make any moves.
He's been comp with this defensive run game, but that's what we need. We need more. We definitely need more.
Yes.
Tyson was calling for Zach to be benched in Denver last year. He was worse last year. He should have been benched against the Patriots last year too.
Exactly. And that's where this all comes off. I know it probably comes off negative, but like,
you think
that obviously, but this is my fear because like you said, this defense is better. This team overall is better. And if
he's better,
yes, slightly. If we end up in the exact same place with 7 or 8 wins and we miss out on the playoffs, that's going to be fucking frustrating.
It is.
This is a playoff team. This should be.
Yep, I agree.
If this season does not end with the playoffs, it's a failure. There's more than enough talent. As long as you get better than average quarterback play, you got to be able to put up some points because the defense is going to do its job.
And this is what Ian said as well. What are you guys watching Jet Central, man? It's all the shit. I know because we talk about it. What's up, Johnny? No, listen, I agree with what you're saying. Like, they have to be better. I'm just more encouraged because I'm seeing a lot of really good things that we didn't see last year from him. I just have more hope that they can keep developing. The one thing that's really pissing me off is watching Garrett Wilson be stuck on our turf and almost break his ankle. And it's like,
I'm glad he called that shit out at least.
Bro, I'm glad he did too because Tippmann got hurt for the same thing. That's how Tippmann got hurt. It's the turf. So Woody Johnson likes to have this fancy diamond necklace and all this other shit. Take off your diamond necklace, pawn it, get the money towards the goddamn new turf, and bring grass in here.
Or even better, all those payments that come in on November 15th from your season ticket holders for next year, put that towards the fucking turf.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's just when Garrett Wilson does that, and that's a guy like you figure we have Aaron Rodgers getting hurt on this turf, Garrett Wilson complaining about it. I mean, that's just something like how does Woody Johnson, and he's worried about tweeting pictures of him like smiling.
Yeah.
Like, Woody, come on, dude.
Yes.
They will talk about that though. And I wish that I guess Sal wouldn't say anything, but I wish the media would have asked like Sal or they asked Joe Douglas because Joe Douglas meets the media in the bye week. They asked him, were you thoughts about Garrett Wilson? Yeah,
they're not going to comment on that. They're not going to ruffle feathers.
Is this true? It's the Maras that don't want grass?
Why would they have more say than
they split it?
Or is it 50-50? They both have to agree on it.
And if both teams are getting injuries, why wouldn't they just do that anyway?
Yeah, nobody likes playing there.
No.
Garbage.
The officiating's rough, dude. I didn't agree with the Alan Lazard call at all, dude.
Oh no, that was terrible. That was terrible.
And the Jets will never, ever, 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 ever get a roughing the passer call on Zach. Zach can get punched in the face, slapped in the helmet, kicked in the ass. Never gonna get a call. Never.
You blow on Jalen Hurts, you get a flag.
Bro, it's ridiculous. He literally gets smacked in the helmet. They don't do anything.
Yep.
And then they get the fucking personal. The personal foul was it on Quinnen? Was it personal?
There was one on Quinnen, and I think there was another on Huff.
Oh,
I think they had two.
Brutal.
Quinnen, I kind of understood because he pushed him at least like 2 seconds after. But I think it was the one on Huff that was bullshit.
Yeah, it was rough, dude. And the game. And listen, I respect the Bills. In that Giant game, that last play should have been a flag as well. It should have been back-to-back pass interference in the end zone.
Yep.
That was terrible, dude.
Officiating's been terrible this year.
Yeah.
They don't like New York teams.
The penalty, that was a big play on Lazard, dude. That was brutal penalty.
Yeah, we would have had 3 more points.
So negative. Come on, man. It's a Victory Monday.
I'm happy.
You're happy.
I'm happy.
You must be hungover. You've got a headache.
Did I not post my live reaction as the game was going on to the plays?
Yeah, dude,
I couldn't be any happier.
The minute you posted your video, I got like 30 messages. Why is Primetime so mad at Zach? He won the game.
Because people take 45 seconds to a minute when I talked about Zach Wilson and forget the other 4.5 minutes where I was praising the team and the defense and Salah and everybody else.
That's all I got. Dude.
Defense carried them to victory.
I still think the special teams helped out and the offense did their job too. They got down there. Between the 20s, they're moving the football. There's a little bit away from being a better offense.
9 points of offense.
So, if Primetime is happy, I'd hate to see him sad. I know, man. Whew. Jeez. I knew something happened.
I'm not going to do the group that like everyone's like blowing Zach over. Like, I'm like, yes, he's making progress, but if we're
That's
talking
all we can
about,
ask at this point. He was terrible. Now he's making progress. So now he's going from terrible to mediocre. Hopefully he becomes good and we win more football games.
and again, he did that last year.
No, he didn't. Last year was nothing like this. Take last year out of your head. You gotta like deprogram yourself.
It's identical.
It's not.
Identical.
It's not.
Conservative ball control.
He is much better, making better
not
throws.
Chances.
That 2-point conversion.
I'll say he took a few chances. That
2-point conversion. That 2-point conversion was sick, dude. It was a dart. It wasn't.
It was, but it doesn't happen unless Adams get that. Like at that point in the game,
this kid could do no right. I can see it now.
At that point in the game, again, like I've been saying, like I've said 7 times already, you can't expect your defense to get that interception to win the game. You're not playing at that point to win the game in the final 2 minutes with an interception, right? If the Eagles did the smart thing there, ran the ball, had Jalen Hurts run out, you're talking about Zach inside the 20 with probably less than a minute left, needing to go 50 or 60 yards with no timeouts to get you in field goal range. And that's what I'm saying. Like the narrative completely changes because they got the win. Winning's great deodorant. Your quote. Like we're having a completely different conversation if Adams doesn't get that pick.
All right, so here's a question for you. Yeah. The Jets are 3-3.
Yes.
Right now, the Jets, as they currently exist, what is your expectation of wins for the rest of the year? How many wins?
Right now, I still think they're an 8 or 9 win team until I see more from the offense.
No, but right now, today, as of today, so they said gun.
I'm going to say 9 and 8. Right now, I say 9 and 8.
Is that a playoff team?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's probably not.
I think they just miss.
Yeah, I think you need 10 wins this year.
If Zach comes out of the bye playing a little bit more like he played in KC, where he's actually slinging it around a little bit, where you're actually getting some touchdowns, where that second and third quarter, he's doing that for at least 3, maybe 4 full quarters. If you can get that guy for at least, you have 10 games left or 11 games left, if you can get that guy for 8 of those final 11 games, I think you'll be in good position to win a handful of them.
Yeah, I think you need 10 wins. My fear is that they win 9 and that Patriot game haunts us. That's my fear. That conference game.
And that game at New England, too, to end the year. That worries me.
So then here is a good question up here. What do we need at the trade deadline? Let's see what he says. Offensive tackle, wide receiver.
And O-line. Yep. I don't know about tackle, though. That depends on Dwayne Brown.
You may need a guard, dude.
That's possible, too.
But let's see. So you figure they have defense, they're fine, unless you want to go. If you could upgrade a corner, if you maybe find a corner that's out there, you can maybe upgrade there.
I'm not trading for a corner.
Yeah, maybe not. So it wouldn't be.
With the pass rush you have, I mean, we saw yesterday. You can survive. And you were going up against legit receivers yesterday, too. So
I think that's it, dude. Probably offensive line and wide receiver. Other than that, it's like you can move guys that are in different positions, like Hardman, Lawson. I don't think Cook's going anywhere. I think he's going to stay. He's probably Breece Hall's insurance policy at this point.
Unless they get Izzy involved right out of the bye week, but
they should. I felt we were more in the game against Kansas City than the Eagles. Thought for sure Dallas was going to score in the 4th. Okay.
I didn't feel like up until those final 2 minutes they had a shot yesterday. I really didn't.
It just seemed like there was just so many missed opportunities, man. It was so frustrating to watch. Like, dude, I hated the red zone. Just drives you crazy, and I hate the way they use a play action. Sometimes doesn't make any sense. It's just they're not aggressive enough. And I don't know if that's whose fault that is. Probably Zach's, but it's just to me. It's just I'm ingrained. I know Zach's trying to be cautious with the football, but I also think that to me it's like that solid thing, dude. I just had that feeling. He always like, you know what, reeled in a little bit. I just had the feeling he does that. I don't know why.
Maybe they just want to make sure they get the points. Trust their defense. Don't give it away. Don't give away 3 free points.
Yeah, that's interesting. The Jets are a 13-4 team. That's dude. I'd be happy with 10 wins. Get us in the playoffs. So now the other question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. What are you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say, just get us to the playoffs, and then let Aaron Rodgers come back and take us the rest of the way.
Well, that's a topic we have to discuss, right?
Yes.
Because, like, it's remarkable what he's doing. Like yesterday, like I'm like, all right, when you saw him go from like the locker, like get off the cart into the locker room walking, I'm like, all right, that's good for the camera to say, hey man, I'm walking. And then you see him on the field throwing the football, and you're like, dude, he could be like 2 months away. He could be.
Unbelievable. Guy is a freak of nature. If he comes back this year, I'm never injecting anything into my body from another doctor ever again. I'm trusting Aaron Rodgers' medical program for every decision.
I'll go to his doctor the rest of my life. I'll do ayahuasca and mushrooms and all kinds of shit. But like that's like, and you're seeing reports like this one report here, like they're saying he could be. Oh shit! Hold on, I hit the wrong button. Hold on a second. By week 15, he could be back.
That was from CBS.
I guess so. They interviewed like the one doctor or something like that. They're saying
I know the timeline that they've had for who was the running back, Akers. I think he did it in like 4 months or so, which would put the Jets right around the wild card game. So
could you imagine?
That would be unbelievable.
What do we got here? Tyson, you're the man. 90% of the time, I agree with you, and you love your commentary. You ain't an expert, and you don't get into X's and O's, but you call you how you see it as football fans who know a thing or two. Thank you. Thank you.
What about me? The hell?
I am definitely not an expert. I'm just a fan. You would have died yesterday during our stream yesterday. Wow, so did you see when they won on that 4th and 9 on the 39-yard line when they punted? Did you see the whole exchange between Saleh and Zuerlein? Where he's like, good, down. He's like, should I go for the kick? Up, down, up.
Did he really?
You guys, dude, this stream, I was dying. I'm like, is he literally going like this on the sideline? Like, should I go for it or not? Like, what? I'm like,
he was asking Zuerlein if he should kick the field goal.
He was asking somebody, dude, but literally like this. He's literally like, yeah, no, what should we do here?
Wait, so did Zuerlein give him the thumbs down?
I don't know. The broadcast was they showed Saleh doing that, but they didn't show. They showed Zuerlein's face. I think he was probably like, "Are you serious? Like, you don't know where I can kick from?" And then they take the delay of game and then they punt it. But dude, the exchange was like, how does Saleh not know what his range is? You identified that before the game when they do all the warm-ups. Like, all right, I feel comfortable from here. I don't feel comfortable from here. The wind is blowing this way.
That's unbelievable.
Dude, we were dying. The stream went right to shit after that.
That's incredible.
Dude,
the only part I watched was the final 2 minutes. And we were all thinking the same way. I posted the reaction right before the play. I thought Hurts was going to run it.
Yep.
I thought the same way that Mahomes iced it, Hurts was going to do the same thing. I was shocked that they let him throw that ball.
Their play calling towards the end was strange, dude. They went away from AJ Brown. They were throwing the ball like it was just odd what they were doing. Yesterday's stream was wild. It's nuts, dude.
With the way the Jets offense was playing, I mean, you run the ball there, you punt it, you make them go 50 yards in less than a minute with no timeouts. If Saleh would have did that, oh my God.
Oh, if Saleh would have did what he did yesterday, they would have been. Oh. Now, what was your take on them letting Breece Hall score? Were you for that or against that?
Yeah, because they still had 2 timeouts.
So if you're the Jets, you tell them you should definitely score, right?
You have to. You need a touchdown there. So what are you going to do? You're going to risk not getting the touchdown on 3rd down?
Because you set up for a field goal, then they're going to have a minute to kick a field goal of their own to win the game. So I'm like,
exactly.
But what were your thoughts on the Eagles letting him score, though?
I think that was smart.
I think so, too.
I was kind of 50-50 on it, actually. I mean, if you could have stopped them, and you had 3 plays technically, and you'd stop them. I kind of take that back, actually, because they had 3 plays. They had stopped them all game. If they did stop them with the 2 timeouts and then they run the 3rd down play, it's a minute left. If the Jets only kick a field goal, they only need a field goal with a minute to go. That's probably a little bit more realistic than getting the touchdown with a minute 40 with the way the Jets defense was playing.
Yeah, when it happened real time, I was like, oh shit, should Breece have fall down on the 1 and then kill the clock? But I'm like, they still have 2 timeouts left, and it's only a field goal, and they have a minute, and you figure Jalen Hurts with his ability and their receivers that we couldn't, it was interesting. Like happening real time, you're like, holy shit, who made a mistake here? It was crazy.
Nah, they needed the touchdown.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, Jamison Crowder talking shit. Jets lose the Patriots week 18 and miss the playoffs. That'd be brutal, dude.
I hope not.
That would be terrible.
Maybe Rodgers is back for that one.
Yep. Elmo taking shots.
Stop it, Elmo.
When Aaron Rodgers' first incomplete pass at 3 turns, he's washed.
Never.
I can't imagine if Rodgers comes back this year. Can you imagine like Zach holds the fort, gets us to like 8 wins. Rodgers comes back, wins the last 2 to go to the playoffs.
I was thinking at best, maybe, he's back for the playoffs, but the thought of him coming back in the regular season seems absurd almost.
Yeah, it's crazy. Definitely crazy. So much just weird things happening with the Jets. They're winning these games. Rodgers is like back walking around. They got swagger now. Like, yeah, this is exactly right. The Jets got a lot of swagger now. That's one thing. If I get a little bit nervous, is that they have all this positivity surrounding them. all this great stuff going into the bye, like being overconfident going against the Giants.
Yep.
And it's like everybody wants to shit on the Giants. That's a huge rivalry game. And if the Giants are 1-6 at that point, that's their Super Bowl, dude. They're going to be going all out like they did last night with the Bills. They're going to go all out
They easily could have won that game last night.
They should have.
You can't, in this league, what we've seen with the Browns, beating the Niners without their quarterback, week to week, anything can happen. So I'm not taking anybody lightly. I'm not falling for what happened last year where, we got the tough part of our schedule out of the way. Week to week, game to game.
And you can't get overconfident, like, oh, it's just a bad Giant team. That's a huge rivalry game. It's a must win, but it's a huge rivalry game for them. Yeah. So if anybody has tickets, let me know. I'm down. Definitely go to that one. Let's say let the Jets have some swagger. That's when they're at their best. That's not true. They had swagger last year, but we pull out Primetime's card.
What were your thoughts on Salah's comments about embarrassing the three quarterbacks?
Well, 2 of the 3 you don't care about because if you see Hurts again this year, it's in the Super Bowl. If you see Mahomes, it's in the playoffs. The problem is you're going to see Josh Allen again this year. So it's like, it's on a bulletin board. Like, oh, you embarrassed me? Now I'm going to drop like 400 yards on you and 6 touchdowns.
In Buffalo, too.
But the thing is, I think his team probably loves it, dude, because his defense is playing so hard for them. And I think Salah realizes that everybody's making fun of them with the 85 Bears comments. So when they weren't playing that well, everybody's like, oh, you guys shouldn't have said that. You guys suck. You don't close out games. So now he's probably backing his team a little bit. Like, hey, man, like this is what we do. But now you got to keep that standard there, though. You can't drop off now.
He's a player's coach.
Yep. He's all gas, no break with certain things and certain things he's not. But he's actually blitzing now on 4th down or 3rd down and stuff. So, But that comment's like, oh, that Bills game, man. You better play well.
Better show up.
Yeah.
Rest of the year better show up. The
Giant game. Dominate the Giants. So if you guys got any more questions, we'll do those. Tomorrow night we'll do calls. I think Tyrone did another Facebook thing, didn't he?
Holy shit. After the game?
No. I think he did it last week, I think. No.
Oh, yeah, there was one more.
I will not be going to Buffalo. That's 100% a lie. I'm not going.
Even in the playoffs? No? Aaron Rodgers return game in Buffalo. You're not going to that?
Bro, I've been there 3 times. They've lost 3 times.
Aaron Rodgers return game in Buffalo. You're not going to that.
I mean,
have to.
Maybe I'm bad luck. I think it's me. I'm a curse. I won't go come a curse.
No such thing as curses.
Dude, 3 times. I've been there 3 times. They've lost 3 times.
So? 4 times charm.
I mean, yeah. I mean, where's exactly. If I go, that gets hurt again. I'm not going. I can't do it. Zach has to be due for a 300-yard, 3 TD game.
Hope so.
True.
I don't even want that, but you got to give me at least like 1 or 2 touchdowns. Got to make some plays in the red zone. I'm not saying he's got to play like an all-pro, but you got to put up points.
Even Joe Benigno is coming around on supporting Zach.
Because they won.
Prime time will get there.
Because they won. Benigno would have had one of his classic rants today if that game didn't end the way it did. It would have been an all-time holy shit bench Zach. We're 2-4 at the bye with the defense playing lights out. They gave him 3 extra possessions. He didn't do anything. It would have been the same thing.
All right, but it didn't happen.
Vinny walked right in front of me yesterday.
Did he?
I was walking in the stadium. Yeah, I got a picture of it.
You're in the fancy seats.
Yeah.
What you guys?
It was outside the stadium. He was going to do the broadcast with Sanchez and.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
What do you guys think the Jets will do if Zach plays really well the rest of the way and Rodgers is 80%?
If Rodgers wants to play, he's playing.
You ain't telling him no.
Nope.
They won't care. The team won't. I mean, the team won't. They're gonna want him, dude. No. Like an 80% Rodgers is probably better than 100% Zach at this point. So,
but is that worth potentially risking next year?
He won't care. He is so adamant about proving everybody wrong that he recovered this and can beat science. He won't give a shit. Nope. Should they start using Izzy in games? I feel like he could be better than Dalvin or Michael Carter. Well, the problem you're going to have is in pass protection, blitz pickup, stuff like that. He's small and he got eaten alive in preseason. Yeah, but
that could be one of the changes after the bye week. Maybe Carter's inactive and they give Izzy a shot.
Because how many carries did Carter get yesterday? Only a couple, right?
Barely any. I mean, and the one pass they tried, he dropped. So
it was a bad drop too.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be interesting because if you do that, then if you're going to do that with Carter, you just trade Carter then.
And didn't he have a penalty also?
Yeah.
False start or something?
Yep. Right? Yeah. Yep. I wonder if could they trade Carter, do you think?
It's possible.
See, it feels like Dalvin Cook's probably their like insurance for Breece if he goes down. He's like the bell cow guy.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the only way they'll get them in there. I don't know.
Depends what they could get. If it's only like a 6th or a 7th, probably not worth it.
Yeah. I don't think Cook's getting traded, dude. I don't think so. I do you?
Unless they want to save some money.
I mean, they got more money if they got season ticket holder money.
There you go.
Oh, look at why am I getting emails saying pay for my 2024 season tickets now?
I went off when I saw that.
You did.
I went off.
The minute I saw it, I texted you. I'm like, oh.
Video was already recorded when you texted me.
I was just like, oh,
you can't even make that shit up, dude. And to me, like the biggest takeaway was that it's setting the precedent for when Rodgers ultimately does retire, that they're going to have everybody locked in for at least one more year afterwards to get their shit together.
100%.
So
here we go. Do you think after the bye week we don't use what ifs anymore?
I hope so. Do you think we score touchdowns? Do you think we put up points? You think maybe we can go like 1 for 8 in the red zone?
Will Hardman get traded? I think it's inevitable because they're not using him.
Yeah.
They're literally not using him. Like they're refusing to put him on the field. The only time he went on the field was when Garrett Wilson got hurt. That was it.
Gibson's already passed him, and they have some kind of love affair with Cobb. So, and on the off chance that Rodgers does come back, he's going to want Cobb here. I think they like his leadership, so I don't think he's going anywhere.
What wide receiver would you go for? Who's available? That's the question.
I'd kind of like Hunter Renfrow. Someone you could throw in the slot. I mean, go over the middle of the field.
That's what they need.
Yeah.
Or do you call Corey Davis? Like, hey man, how's things going? How you feeling?
Could do that too.
Is he still on their salary cap for this year or no?
No. As far as I know, he's not.
So we got here trade Hardman for Hollywood Brown, or I'd take Cortland Sutton in a second, dude. I love Cortland Sutton. He's gonna make big money though. That's the problem.
I wonder if Judy gets traded. I was always a big fan of Judy. I know Steve Smith was shitting all over him.
Call him just an average guy. Trade a conditional 4th for Jerry Judy. They're probably gonna want more.
3rd?
Cortland Sutton, I'm down. 1,000% down for Cortland Sutton.
You take Sutton over Judy?
Yes. 100%. I like him a lot.
I think I'll take Judy.
Thinking 2-1 over the next 3 games.
1 game at a time is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. The Giants is a must. Yeah.
Chargers worries me a little bit.
Here's a question.
Well, we have been pretty good. I mean, we've at least played well on prime time.
You guys go into the Patriots game week 18 if it's winning in.
That's a tough one. I don't know.
What's my record? I've seen 2 victories there. I think I'm 2-2 at the Patriots.
It's on my birthday too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to go then. Could you imagine?
Be a shitty birthday if we fucking lose in New England.
Another long ride home. Another 4-hour. At least it's shorter than Buffalo.
That's true.
And Balls can wear his Zach Wilson jersey.
There you go. Unless Rodgers is playing.
That's true. Let's see. Yeah, Judy. I think that's been the word about Jerry Judy's attitude problem.
Oh, so this locker room is exactly what he needs then.
T. Higgins is hurt, and he also wants to stay in Cincinnati. I don't think Mike Evans is going anywhere either, though.
Next year, though, Evans, Devontae Adams, like that's going to be the move. Like whoever you get is probably just a short-term fix. Next year, I think they're going to get somebody big time.
Let's see. Where's the chats go so fast, man? It's funny. How many Dolphin fans have seen their team win a playoff game?
That's true.
We can't talk too much shit. We haven't been in playoffs in forever.
Yeah, but they haven't won in forever.
Renfro is the one. That's what Ian's been mentioning that for 2 weeks now. He's all over that. He loves him.
I wanted him in the offseason, Renfro.
Yep.
They never really replaced Elijah Moore, at least what Moore was supposed to be in the slot.
What is Elijah Moore done in Cleveland? Nothing, right?
Not much. I know as of a week or 2 ago, his numbers were pretty much the same as the first 5 games with the Jets last year.
Okay. Let's see. We need a rental for this year at wide receiver and 2-year commitment at O-line. Hey, man. I'm not opposed to wide receiver help at all. What do you think about sliding Garrett Wilson to the slot once in a while?
Could do that.
Yeah, why not?
Be put on the outside, Lazard and maybe Hardman just to stretch the field.
Or maybe just put Gibson out there. I mean,
Gibson just makes more sense, I think, in the slot.
He does.
Rodgers anywhere though.
Rodgers didn't completely rupture his Achilles like Lawson. He partially tore it.
That was Brandon Tierney's tweet, wasn't it? I think he was just speculating.
I don't know. Some of those.
Judging by the slow mo of that shit popping, I think he completely tore it. But I don't know.
Now there's a very good comment here from Big Bird. The problems that often seem very flexible. Hopefully by bye week helps that. I mean, Big Bird.
The problems are flexible.
Fixable. I think he's probably saying he's Big Bird, man.
Wow. I hope so.
This is the Go For It Shirts prime time. You had to see the stream, dude. He's literally going like this. What?
So thumbs up on the front, thumbs down on the back.
And then put now what?
At least we tried.
Jason Brownlee has been inactive every week. He's not even getting a chance to play. So
strange.
And wasn't he like a special teams guy? I know Irv Charles was.
Not really.
No, he isn't. That's probably why he's not playing either then.
I think he maybe got some reps as a gunner early on.
Yeah.
Not a return guy.
Dude, from a Dolphin fan, Willie Finns fan, do the Jets split the Dolphins or do the Dolphins sweep them?
The speed of that offense worries the shit out of me.
I mean, they are just flying right now. It's so good. It was funny because they were up 14-0 yesterday. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, they're gonna lose." I'm like, dude, it is way early. That team scores points in bunches.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say they split just because I hate to say sweep.
I mean, we took care of them at home last year, but that was without Tua. And then Bridgewater got hurt on the first play, the first drive.
We lost to the garbage game at the end of the year, which was a disaster. Let's see. Does Brownlee get a chance to play when Hardman gets traded?
I think it'll just be more reps for Gibson.
Because, yeah, you're probably right.
And Irv Charles, too. Irv Charles might get those reps. If he keeps being active, he might get an opportunity first.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, let's see what else we got here. Any more questions you guys got for us? Tomorrow night we'll do all the calls because I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm starving.
I'm sure I'll get some pleasant calls tomorrow.
Oh, do you guys see the Jets trade for another offensive tackle, offensive guard, or sign an offensive lineman off the couch? Worked for the Giants last night. He played well once he got settled in.
Yeah.
They need a guard, dude. I have a feeling that Tippmann thing is probably serious.
If it is, then yeah, you have to sign a guard. And then I think tackle would depend on Brown.
I promise I'm not going to get mad before every game. I didn't get mad yesterday, I don't think. Yes, I did. The fuck when they punted. Yeah, I did. Here's one prime time. What do you offer Huff?
Problem is the price just keeps going up week after week right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
but is he considered a situational pass rusher or is he an all-around player right now?
The way he's playing, he's going to want to get paid like an all-around player. I mean, you're probably talking at least JFM money, which was close to like $15 million a year.
He's probably he's probably 13, 14 million a year.
That's what he's going to be looking for. I don't know if the Jets are going to give it to him, but that's what he's going to look for.
Yep. Pugh played well last night, man. For all things considered, he went from guard to tackle. Just crazy. Yep. The interviews, they're going to be on hold now. They're winning, man. They won 2 in a row. We can't be mocking Saleh right now.
I'm proud of Saleh.
Yeah.
Doing good things with that defense.
This team faced he stood by his quarterback and it's starting to pay out right now. Oh, you guys are killing me. I'm trying to offset Primetime's negativity.
I'm happy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Craig James played his ass off. He did. I mean, he didn't keep up with A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown had 150 yards or some shit, didn't he?
Yeah, but that wasn't Craig James. He had 2 targets all game. I don't think he gave up a catch or maybe 1 catch, something like that.
Is that it?
Yeah. Somebody put out those numbers today. He had a lot of his numbers on Hall and the other guy, 27. I already forgot his name.
Hayes?
Tay Hayes, yes.
Let's see. Do you guys think the Jets will make Rodgers move purely based on what Rodgers wants? Yes.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. If he walks in and says, I want to play Sunday, after already practicing, they're not going to tell him no. There's no way. He'll be on McAfee just talking shit.
Is that question more about the offseason, though, as far as like free agents? And like if he wants Devontae Adams, that's not even a discussion. Yes, sir, it's done.
I think they're gonna cater to him. I really think so. They've already done that now. They did it this year.
Yeah.
Where was this? Is a good question.
I think Bakhtiari is going to be here next year, coming off injury. I think Devontae Adams is going to be here. Bring them all over.
Jets didn't go offense first round this year, so I think that says a lot about what they think was best for Rodgers. I don't think so, man. This draft class has some ways to go, though, man. Not a lot of. Yep. Better hope that McDonald and Tippmann take off. Let's see. Craig had 0 catches allowed.
Yeah.
And this must be a friend of yours, Primetime. I'm not impressed. Don't get hyped because we still the Jets and we lose to shitty teams.
I'm not that negative. I was more than impressed with the defense. I mean, can't say enough about the defense.
How is Legend doing? Is he enthusiastic? Dude, Legend's been wearing the headband still. He's still wearing a headband. He refuses to take it off. That's how much of a supporter he is. He was partying all night last night. How does Zach handle being benched after improving and leading Jets to playoffs?
Doesn't really matter.
I mean, if he has him to like 8 wins, like
let's just get to that point, though.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I don't think you were at that. You're talking about you're putting a Hall of Fame quarterback, an all-time great that wants to play. You're not gonna. There's no way.
I think he understands. Like that's what his job is right now. Just get them there, and anything after that, it's a bonus.
Is Gibson a solid receiver? Where is Lazard? Never wanted him on this team. Lazard had a bad drop yesterday.
I think he'd probably be a little different though with Rodgers, but
yep,
little overpaid, but still a solid receiver. I think he's more of a 3.
Yeah. Shout out to Tay Hayes, Craig James, and Bryce Hall for doing their thing. It's top 3 receiver due. AJ Brown is getting his 100, but no TDs allowed. Yeah, AJ Brown is a beast, man. He is such a good player.
I don't know how he made that one catch on the sideline. I didn't think it was a catch.
Neither did I. That was incredible.
Ball looked like it moved a little bit when he was on the ground. But.
He was. So now when they turned over to the Jalen Hurts touchdown at home, it was a goal line stand. So we were all happy. They come back from commercial and it's like touchdown. I'm like, what? What happened?
Dude, they didn't even make an announcement that the play was being reviewed. All of a sudden, you just see the Eagles extra point team come out. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like they didn't announce anything.
It's just like
the wildest shit I've ever seen.
And they didn't really show the replay where like Jalen Hurts had the ball, like the receiver trying to take it from him. Like they basically said like great goal line stand. Like, all right, cool. We're like, this is great. Yeah. I'm worried about like Zach Wilson throwing the ball out of the 1 yard line, like all this stuff. And they come back and like there's an extra point being kicked. I'm like, what?
I thought it was probably a touchdown, but judging by the call on the field, I didn't think you could really overturn it. So
the Fox broadcast is so bad, dude. It is so bad.
Didn't show any replays.
No, and it's like obviously I couldn't hear Sanchez. Yeah. No replays. And then when the game first started, they were going screen and screen. They were showing the 49ers and Browns, so we could barely
the Jet game.
So you could barely see that. And then every time like something would happen, like they'd be showing like the back of Jalen Hurts. They'd be showing the sideline. Like, how about you show the replay of the play? Like you couldn't see like who made the mistake or what went wrong.
That's terrible.
Crazy. It's such a bad broadcast, man. I'm telling you, shit was so funny yesterday. Oh my God. Yeah, Fox was terrible, dude. Absolutely terrible. What else we got here? Chat is on fucking fire. The replay was inconclusive on the Hurts TD. I still didn't see it right.
That's what I thought. I mean, you can see him reach the ball across, but that was also after like a second or two where it almost looked like his momentum had stopped.
Yep.
And you couldn't even see a clear angle where the ball definitively crosses while he still has possession. So it probably was a touchdown. Like if that was the call on the field, I think it would have stood, but I didn't see how they reversed it though.
What are your thoughts on Notre Dame beating USC?
What were your thoughts on them losing to Louisiana?
No, it's about this. So you like to live in the past. I'm living in the
I'm not a USC fan. I'm a Florida State fan. My team's still undefeated. So
I'm saying like Caleb Williams looked pretty like Zach Wilson.
You still want Caleb Williams?
Dude, Notre Dame, like it was so funny, man.
They made him look bad.
They made him look real bad.
That was a fun night for you. You got a Notre Dame win and an Edson Barbosa win.
100%. Great
what
night.
A comeback that was after that first round.
Will Primetime be angry if we score 2 touchdowns in the red zone in 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks, meaning like in 2 games, or against the Giants, we get 2 touchdowns in the red zone. How many chances do we have? No, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Don't antagonize Elmo.
I want points.
We all
over
do.
20 points.
I want wins.
That's like the bar for me. Over 20 points.
Yep.
If you can do that consistently, you're going to win some games with this defense.
Your mentions tomorrow are going to be a disaster, an absolute disaster.
Bring them
I
on.
can just see this. The callers tomorrow.
I'm here.
Yes. Is the next UFC card worth watching? Absolutely, dude. Usman on even though it's short notice, Usman on Volkanovski, bro.
Yep.
100%.
Chimaev is going to destroy Usman.
Thoughts on Dylan Danis boxing terribly?
That was an embarrassment.
Terrible.
Glad I
Absolutely
didn't pay for it.
Oh, I never pay for any of those, but that's just it's embarrassing. It's just bad for the sport, man. It's just it's ridiculous.
Made a spectacle out of it.
Yeah, it's nothing. And you knew he couldn't box. That was the whole thing.
He couldn't even get a fucking takedown.
No, he couldn't. He felt that.
0 for 2 on takedowns.
Prime time, are you hulking up?
Nah, I'm not.
All right.
Been slacking a little bit. Still doing a little cardio, but haven't lifted in a little bit. Work schedule's getting a little
Logan
rough.
Paul fight was terrible. All those boxing fights were just garbage, dude. It's not good. It's just not good for sport. There's money grabs at this point.
Yep.
The Dolphins had the second longest playoff win drought behind the Lions. Is that true?
I think Dolphins are like 20 years, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Pennington got them there, but they didn't win.
Last question of the night. Two more questions. Do the Rangers have a real shot this year, primetime?
They'll be in the playoffs.
Devils are going to smoke them.
No, they're not.
Different class. And then the final question of the evening. Look, where's the primetime workout video?
I posted it a month ago. You haven't done your analysis.
Damn it. Oh, hold on.
It's still in the queue.
Oh, let me write down. Hold on a second.
I got all my combos,
That's
my jabs.
me. That's my fault.
That is your fault.
Oh, shit. And this,
It's been in the private videos for well over a month. So
fuck.
Yep.
Primetime boxing. This is a good time, bro. The bye week is a good time for those.
Perfect.
Armand. That's right. He lost 8 more pounds. He's lost 185 pounds in 17 months.
Good for you, man. That is awesome. Well done.
Post it on the Tyrone. All right. That'll be it for tonight. Tomorrow night, it'll be all about the callers fighting with Primetime. I'll just be the moderator.
Bring it on. I'm here.
Just during the chat, I missed the part. Where was y'all bashing Zach? Oh, yeah.
I didn't bash Zach.
Just criticized him.
Yeah, a little criticism.
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock.
For improvement.
The callers versus Primetime. Bring your popcorn. We'll talk to you later.
Talk to you tomorrow.
That's a lot of weight.